This isn't racing. And this is race 1 out of the 4 races, Browns. God. No.
She's got cars that's got a 1-year extension on.
Of course he does.
I reckon that means Eddie will stay on for another year. They're like best friends.
Isn't that when you get your balls chopped off?
Take your balls.
Yeah.
I hear I'm saying you're having your balls taken off.
Look.
We've got no one to fucking. Did Ennis even do the?
Why have they just suddenly got like no one?
Well, my teammate says they didn't want to race.
Last week everyone sacked it off. Who's in the Audi team?
Rob.
At least Spoopy and I are here to try and win us the title.
Oh, it's. Well,
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. The first one's closest time to like 120.4 or something. I don't know what. So, the second one's the soft puncture one, isn't it?
No,
it's
you
wet.
have to soft
Still
pit.
wet. Right.
Have I got an Australia's help?
Okay, what's the last one?
35%.
We see a good effort from McLaren here today. In recent times they've fallen to somewhat of a midfield team. The last time the constructor won a world championship was in 1998. British constructor Arrows never won a race after 380.
Welcome back to CRL for another round of the Cone Cup, and only 12 drivers here unfortunately, and we are here in Australia, so I think the stipulation is today is trying to get closest to the original lap record before the track was modified before then in 2020. Well, we did racing here in 2020 because it was replaced by Qatar, but I'm not quite sure when the original lap record was set around here in Australia, and I think it's a 20.4 we have to beat. I think the lap times we're getting to now is about 15/16s in the original, well, in the new format here in Australia. That's where we get up to now, and it's full of high speed now. The slow chicane has been taken out to improve racing overall around here in Australia, which has proved to be. That little chicane was challenging for some drivers. It was easy to lock up and hit the wall on the outside, but overall, turning it into a straight with DRS has overall improved the racing around here. So let's see then how the drivers get on around here in Australia, and let's see what they have to do here. So it's a short qualifying, a 3-lap race. It gets close to the original Albert Park qualifying record of 20.4. I'm not quite sure if that was set by Lewis Hamilton. I'm not quite sure, but there's 30 drivers now with Liam Cross in the session, so on board with Indian Jesus, our tier 3 champion, as he makes his way down into turn 1 and turn 2. So where exactly on the lap do you back off? I think you maybe do it later towards, as you want to get a decent lap in around here in Australia before you try and back off to get as close to the record. He did outbreak himself a little bit into turn 3 and on offline here into turn 4. According to content creators who play F1, the game handling model is terrible unfortunately, and I've seen clips of it, and it's literally like a mobile game, literally on a steering wheel. That's how bad the F1 24 game is, and I don't even need to spoil it because it's all over the feed on X and the F1 community. So I really hope the F1 24 game will improve overall. So here is India Jesus there coming out of turn 9 and turn 10, the fast speed corners, and we're going down into turn 11 then. A heavy braking zone also been modified here to make it into a fast, slow right-hander. Not quite sure how it was before, to be honest with you. I think it's a longer straight than it was originally. And here he is. I think it's improved overtaking in that particular braking zone. So he is going to slow down on the final corner. And can he get in touching distance of the fastest original lap time. No, it's a 21.8, so slowed down a bit too much as Legende then instantly smashes it. And he's only, in fact he hasn't smashed it, I think he's gone quicker than it, yeah. So Legende has gone quicker than the original lap time. So, but it does say the stipulation gets close to it, so he's still in contention for it, as long as he's close to staying, or if anybody else does not get close to it. So, Legende is currently leading the way by P1 and on pole, but Hobbsy goes to second place with 21.6, and we've got a car behind who's about to cross the line now, and it's AJ Wuhan, who's 4 seconds away from it as he's lost his wing there, so not ideal for him. Here comes Sweet Crown, and he's going to go across the line to go P5 with a 21.9. Jay Hartnell is in P6, and Indian Jesus P4, Hobbsy P2. So Legende is currently leading the pack, and it was only his first attempt for Legende. So that's very impressive for Legende, got to say. That's a mighty reward, considering it's his first lap time. Maybe he's done some practice beforehand, but still it's impressive for Legende there. So full credit to him, trying to get close to the original record. You know what? Scrap that, because it's actually a 20.4, not a 21.4. And India Jesus then goes quickest, it's a 20.6, so apologies about that. Wasn't fully paying attention, but the original lap record, oh, somebody spun in the background. Who was that? I'm not quite sure who it was. I can't find the person, can't identify them. Who was it? I can't find them anyway, but they've gone for a spin out of turn 10, and Nathan there coming towards the final 2 corners, but he is running out of fuel, so I might see him in the pit lane on his in lap. There he is then, as Hobbsy goes quickest, and now it's 20.4, so he originally now is closest to the record, and he's only about 1400s away from the record, if I got my maths correct there. Yeah, the 1200s away from the original record. So what a great lap time there for Hobbsy. So he currently leads the way. So it's going to be nip and tuck. Can anybody try and beat that? It's going to be so close as Sieb goes into P2 on the medium compound tyres. So tyre allocation is quite crucial as well. You can see a few medium runners, and Bompier's got into P6 with a 21.0. So that is very impressive from Hobbsy there, judging it right with a 20.4. And we'll see if anybody else can get close to the mark with 12 minutes left in this session. You can go on any tyres you want, really. Soft or medium doesn't really matter, because you can still get within that range on the medium compound tyres. So obviously the record around here is a 16 or 17, and Rapid now has misjudged the rules, so he will not get the... He's got the fastest lap, but I think Hobbsy's closer, if I'm correct. He's only 1200 away from Hobbsy, so surely Hobbsy's got the record, as Rapid is in P1 with a 20.3. So I think Rapid has unfortunately overcooked it a bit and gone beyond the limits of what he could do, tried to get close. So I think his qualifying is done and dusted then. Otherwise, he might as well be going faster now. But anyways, I think Hobbsy has got the first place for the time being. It does say get as close to the record, and Hobbsy's only 1200s away, whereas Rapid is about 800s away. So yeah, I think, oh, Sieb's got it to P2, and it's a 20.483. Oh, Sieb is 3,000 away from the original lap record. Now, how close are these guys going to get? Sieb has currently got second place. He's got first place now, has Sieb, to get close to the record. And it's a mighty battle there for P2 and P3. It's going to be so difficult though, trying to slot in between Sieb and Hobbsy. The accuracy, the precise timing. When do you judge when to go and when to slow down? It's quite difficult when to judge, but Sieb has currently aced it so far. So congratulations to Steve there. I'm just wondering if anybody else can try and slot in between Hobbsy and Sieb. Can anybody set the actual record of a 20.486? Because if they do, as AJ's retired, he's crashed out of turn 5. Unfortunately for AJ, Rapid's retired, so he knows he's flunked it. But here comes Hobbsy once again, and let's see if he could try and better it. No, he can't. Although he's 4,000 away from his best lap time, which is not too bad at all. But we've got more making their way towards the line. Sweet can't cross the line. He can't go. He does improve, but he can't go anywhere near it. Oh, he's only 2/10 away, so that is quite close. But Indian Jesus is 4/10 up, so... And Steve's retired then, so he believes he's done the best to his abilities and nobody can match him. But still, the competition out there will be high. And all of these drivers then will be trying and get that record down as Indian Jesus heads off into the pit lane. He was running out of fuel anyway. What's Bosch Evans doing in the Nicky Quieties? Cutting corners is Bosch Evans then, so I think he hasn't done a lap time just yet, or isn't on one, so let's see if he tries to go for a lap time here. We're halfway through the session already, and Sieb has gone into P2 with the closest time with a 20.483. And Hobbsy is currently P2, and Bompier. How precise do you want it to be? Bompier and Hobbsy has just set the exact same lap time as each other. Incredible. One's on the mediums and one's on the softs. Regardless of that, it's still incredible to set the exact same lap time each other. So they're tied at the moment, but I believe Hobbsy will get it first as he set it first. So good. That was good from Bompier to get as close as he can, but just not quite close enough to beat Hobbsy and get close to the lap record. How close do you want it, indeed? So here's Bompier around the final corner once again is the ILT driver, and let's see if he tries to go for another attempt. He hasn't validated the lap time. It's 20.2, so it doesn't really matter because he didn't validate that. But here he is then, coming towards turn 1 and turn 2. We've got our flurry of cars circulating around the circuit there in the first sector, as the Bompier will want to try and avoid those. And we've got majority of drivers out on the circuit once again. There's Hobbs here in P3, but he's currently not on the lap time. Is the doing it in the hash driver, as Hobbsy Bompier has invalidated. Are you allowed to go faster than the original queue time? Well, yes. Sorry about that. Yes, you are, but at the same time, you got to get close to it. So I don't think nobody can try and beat Sieb, if I'm honest with you. I think Sieb's got it well in the bag, unless anybody else has something else to say about that. What about Sweet Crown in P7? What is he doing? Here he is, coming towards 12 and 13. Where is he going to fit in comparison to the rest of the guys? The DRS is open there for Sweet Crown, and let's see, he's backing off right now to try and get in close distance. It's 20.6 then, so he can't get close to that record. And Jay Hart now is in the pit lane. What about Legende? He's gone for a lap time. Has Legende in the Pink Panthers. Bosch Evans 5 seconds down, but that doesn't really matter because he's trying to go for the original lap record, not the actual lap record. So here he is in the middle sector, coming towards the end of it, 6.4 seconds down. I don't think he's actually on a proper lap time, so I don't think he will beat the 21.6 himself. So he's backed off, yes, so he won't be doing that. What about Nathan? Currently a 10th up in the middle sector. Not using the DRS either. Currently running low on fuel, so I'm quite interested to see why Nathan hasn't put more fuel in the car, because it doesn't matter if your tyres wear out, because you can still beat that 21, or beat the 20, sorry, depending on how much fuel you got in the car as well. In qualifying, it's about 16 or 17, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe less than that, I don't know actually, around here in Albert Park, even though I've qualified around here in Albert Park a few weeks ago. But yeah, Nathan should have put more fuel in the car to give him more attempts instead of ruining his flow and momentum. And here he is around the final corner. So let's see if he could try and get his car, the Snail Syndicate or Chevrolet Co-Veterans, close to the line. Oh, that's a convincing lap time. So it's third place with a 20.4, and he's currently 4, 5, 6, 7 thousandths away. Not enough, unfortunately, for Nathan, because Steve is only 3 thousandths away. So Nathan just needs to find more thousandths. Finding thousandths is going to be a very difficult task at hand there. And Bompier's going for another attempt, so he's still on those medium compound tyres, just going for a long stint on them. And Legende is out on the circuit too, again with a 20.6 with Indian Jesus down there in P9. Indian Jesus currently towards the last sector, so keep an eye on him as he makes his way now towards the penultimate corner. What a mighty championship fight for Indian Jesus back in season 10, where he clinched the title ahead of ILT Crack and Rapid too. Here comes Indian Jesus now towards the line at 20.5, so unfortunately for him, he's not close enough. Who's that coming towards the line now? Bosch Evans. Let's see what he does. Can he ace it? A 20.3, so he does go quickest, but unfortunately he won't be able to clinch it anymore, as he's just exceeded the boundaries of it. Bompia, though, however, is still going around the circuit again. Indian Jesus is still circulating out there. Legende is out there. He's coming towards the final sector now. And we'll see what lap time he can set in the Pink Panther car. He's trying to crawl towards the line. At 20... Ooh! Did he beat it? Oh my goodness me, Legende! He's 2 thousandths away from the lap record. Legende has smashed it. He's done it. As somebody in the background just retired. I think that was Bosch Evans, knowing he couldn't go for another lap time because he knew he beat it. But Legende now is on pole. Wait. I'm getting confused. No, I mixed the numbers around. Silly me. It's an 8.6, not a 6.8. Sorry about that. I thought you matched it. Apologies. My mathematics are bad there. So Steve has currently got it. So Legende, then he can't get it. Yeah, I know. Whoever's commented, I know I made a mistake. My maths is very bad. I spotted that myself. I got too excited there, seeing 6 and 8 in the same, but the other way around. So Legende there, and the wrong digits there. A 4, 6, 8. Had to double check. I checked about 5 times, and I still only just noticed as well. So unlucky Legende, but I think it's Seeb from Nathan, from Hobbsy, and Bompia. Bompia and Hobbsy still got the same lap time, of course, so it's taking them quite a while to try and get close to that lap time. And here he is, they're coming towards the penultimate corner is Bompia. So with 3 minutes left to go on the session, time is ticking down for these drivers. Seeb has still currently got the best lap so far. What's Bompia going to do? Not enough, unfortunately. So he's got about 2 attempts or 3 attempts to try and seal that fastest lap. I say fastest lap. Try and seal the original lap time record. I don't know how you try and manage to get close. It's not even like you can slow down towards the line because you either go beyond it or just a bit too slow. It's just about accuracy. I'm not quite sure how many people orchestrated this. And we'll continue with Hobbsy then. He's got a car in the way, has a bit of a wobble out the corner of turn 10, the high speed of turn 9 and turn 10. And somebody's just crossed the line there. Not quite sure who that was. Was it Indian Jesus? But a majority of drivers on the circuit, 4 of them retired knowing, or Steve thinking he's comfortable, but the rest knowing they can't beat it. And AJ unfortunately crashed out at turn 5. But here's Hobbsy coming towards the line. Then there's a car ahead of us who is ghosted. And let's see what Hobbsy does. Hobbsy crossed the line now. Oh, that's a convincing lap time, but still not close enough. It's Hobbsy. I think Hobbsy's got 1 more attempt left. Has doing in the hash driver. 2 thousandths away from Nathan, who's gone for another lap time. Legende's there, but Legende can't do anything about it, unfortunately. But he's still going to go out there and have some fun. If that was Legende, might as well set the fastest lap now. But yeah, there's nothing he can do about it, of course. Trying to get close to the record, he's gone beyond it. And Seeb currently still has the fastest lap. And there's a tyre there, that's AJ's tyre, which is still there as Harry Palmer goes into 10th place with the 20.5s. And, oh, I was about to get excited there, but it's not actual qualifying. Sweet Crown then goes quickest with a 20.2, so he can't do anything about it either. He's retired knowing his qualifying has ended then, so it's up to 6th place downwards to see if they can displace Seeb. And we'll see then. Seeb has currently won a few races here in Cone Corp, which is quite astonishing, although I did ruin his chances in Silverstone, and he was not happy about that one, as you could probably tell. But Jay Hartnell is going to cross the line first to see what lap time he can set. I think these guys have got 1 more lap left with 40 seconds left to go. EOS doesn't matter, tyre wear doesn't matter, but the fuel does. I think these guys have got plenty of fuel left to go for 1 more lap, and Jay Hartnell then has the last lap to do it. Who's that coming towards the line? Hobbsy again. He's not wasn't pushing that lap. Here comes Nathan at 20.5, so it's going to be his last attempt. This is very intriguing, you know. I thought it could be a bit boring, but it's so interesting to see the accuracy of these drivers getting close towards the limit. A 20.5 for Bompierre. He's got 10 seconds left to go in the session then, so his majority of drivers' last attempt as Indian Jesus then is making his way towards turn 11, I believe it is now. It was turn 13, but that chicane got taken out. I think racing has been much better around Australia ever since that chicane was removed. Don't get me wrong, I do miss it. It added a bit of skill to drivers. As Indy Choosers retired then, so he believes he can't get close to that record. So Steve still has the closest, but there's still drivers out there trying to demote him from that as Legendary across the line to go into P4. And we'll see what these guys can do, who are left in this session to try and beat it. So Hobbsy then will go on board with him. I can't identify what car that is in front of us. Oh, it's Jay Hartnell. There is Jay Hartnell coming towards the final corner then. So let's see if he could try and get close to the limit as he now makes his way towards the line. He can't do it, unfortunately. That's his qualifying done and dusted. Here comes Hobbsy. Last attempt. Is it close? Nope, not for Hobbsy. But will Nathan cross the line now? Nope, not enough. And Bompier is the only driver that can stop Sieb. And let's see how he does then. Can Bompier, who was fighting with Sieb in Zandvoort, and he crossed the... Oh! What was that lap time? I didn't quite see it. It was a 20.4 something. But I didn't quite see what that lap time was. So let's have a look now to see what the times are. A 20.486. So yeah, Sieb's got it. Sieb has got it by 3,000. He was the closest. Nathan 7,000 away. Hobbsy, look at that. Nathan, Hobbsy and Bompier separated by about 4,000 between the trio. But well done to Sieb. Congratulations for that. And get as close as he could to the track record. He retired quite early in the session then, so his confidence must have been sky high, thinking that nobody could beat it. And Liam Cross there decided not to go out, so no chance of him trying to beat the lap record. Fair play, Steve, well done. I think Nathan is in second, with Hobbsy third, and Bompier in fourth place. That's the qualifying done for Australia, and we'll go on for the 3-lap race. Are there any points for the 3-lap race? Does it matter? Only the fastest lap of the session counts. Retire from the race straight away, so we'll see no racing. So we move on to Qatar. The stipulation picked by team in 10th place for round 3 standings. I think that's Audi in the Haas. Audi in the Haas? Audi in the here? I don't even know. What is it? How do we get here? There we go. How do we get here? So the stipulation for them is a 5-lap race, 1-shot qualifying, a 4-wet race, pit for softs on lap 1, disqualified if you don't, stay on softs for the rest of the race. It's just like a repeat of Bahrain actually, but Qatar should be adjusted with 4 high-speed corners, especially that triple right-hander. Riders on the Storm, wet to dry to wet weather, 1-shot qualify, 35%, collisions on, damage off, safety car on, and stewarding. So I'll see you back in Qatar and we'll see what happens there. But congratulations, Sieb, for winning the opening stint of this 3-legged race. He's jumped over the first hurdle, has Sieb, which is quite surprising because I didn't know he could jump. But anyways, he's jumped the first hurdle because he's still got Qatar left and Brazil. I'll join you back for Qatar later on. Yeah, Panda, I just looked at your comment right now. Yeah, I was completely wrong. I got too excited. The numbers were changed around. It was a 8-6, not a 6-8. So I actually thought that Bob Legende had it at the time. Of course, Joshua, the only podium interview you're ever gonna get, mate. Panda, how come you're not racing this one? Are you racing? No, you're not in this one. So, how come you're not racing this one? It was nice to see you in this. Apologies for not making. Apologies for not making the first race. God, fucking hell. But apologies for not making the. Yeah, apologies for not making the race on Monday or commentating on Monday. I was too tired after work. You get an interview at the station, Jamie. Obviously, you just focus on getting the points for us. We're currently ninth in the championship, so we need those points. I don't think you got any teammates in here, have you? I'm not here. Scott's not here. And the other guy's not here. I forgot his name. I'm not reading anything, Josh. Matt, I mean, obviously the whole thing was a waste of time for me anyway. So we're going into Qatar then. I mean, is it really a joke saying that, just saying? Are you talking to me, Panda? I mean, it really isn't a joke saying that, just saying. Panda, what did I say wrong? These guys are crazy. It's me, Felipe, not Hobbsy. Wait, Panda, you talking to me? What did I do wrong? Here's something you don't see every day. A wet race in Qatar. Jamie, would you rather wear socks or gloves for a month without taking them off? Don't know if there's a right answer in that one. Anyways, we're off for the one-shot qualifying here in Qatar. So let's see if Josh can do his talking on the track. Well, it doesn't matter now, I thought it anyway. But anyways, we head into turn 1. Who is this I'm on board with? It looks like a Nicky Quieter, so it must be Josh. As he slowly and slides out of turn 1, and he's already down into 12th place. So yeah, he's talking on the track. As you can see there, I don't even need to know who it is, you could just tell. But anyways, Nathan then proving his weather skills again like he did in Bahrain. He did quite well in Bahrain, didn't he, on the wet tyres, but when it came to the dry tyres, he fell down the order. And you can see that the timing sheets are just jumbling up and down. Oh, Nathan there spin out of turn 6. Well, he didn't spin, he just slid. And that put him down into 11th place there, so he lost a lot of time. And now the Dutchman of Sweet Clown is in first place. Here he is then, in that lovely livery car. I actually don't know what team he's in. I've actually forgot, so let me have a quick check to see what it is. I bet you, Josh, if I had ACC, I would instantly beat you on that. Pink Panthers, yeah, makes sense why that car is pink and purple. But yeah, I understand that was quite obvious what car Sweet Crown was in. I didn't think he was in the Pink Panthers because that's not a Sweet Crown type of thing to do. But here is Sweet Crown then out to the final corner. He did have a race in Qatar, I believe, in a different league on Saturday. Can't remember where he finished. But yeah, he goes to the top of the title sheets with a 35.7. Does Sweet Crown. Indian Jesus slots into P2. And I want to see how he does on the 24 game. He had a lot of pace in the 23 game. But the next game is going to be a different story with all the handling issues that a lot of drivers have incurred this in the beta. But yeah, Josh, I would love to see what I'd do against you in ACC. Wouldn't it be funny if I just beat you in ACC on my first race? Unfortunately, though, I can't race on Sundays because I've already got a league race on Sunday. Otherwise, I would. I'm not giving that league up either. Anyways, there is the qualifications then, as Josh is back in the chat trying to slate me again. His mind games never work. Yeah, Panda, he makes a lot of you should hear the parties that they go in. They make a lot of jokes, so that's not the worst what I've heard. A great job from Jay Harnow. Didn't even know Rapid was in the session. Hello, Rapid. But we move on then to the next race, or the race in Qatar. It's going to be a 5-lap race, and we got to pit on the first lap to go on the set of soft compound tyres. Why not the hards? Make it the hard compound tyres. Yeah, thanks, Josh. You too. I know you got a lot on your mind with that big head of yours, but I've always loved you too. That guy really thought he could fool me. But anyways, 4-5 lights then for this race, and we are away for the Qatar Grand Prix. So let's see who gets a better start. Look at that, Sweet Crown well here, well clear of the guys ahead, and it's left to Jay Hartnell Rapid to scrap it out as they go wheel to wheel down into one. And here comes Nicky Quiet to take out 4 drivers. Wow, better than I could, to be honest. That's quite an achievement there for Bosch Evans. So well done to him for taking out 4 cars. I only took out 1 person. No, 2 people actually. Legende and Steve. That's the only people I could take out. So he's taken out more people in one race than I have in the last few. But what a dive that was. Those 4 people. Hobbsy. Oh no, it's Hobbsy, my teammate. So fuck you, Josh, for doing that. But anyways, there he is, a 30th place. He did quite well in Bahrain. Did Hobbsy until he spun on the final corner with Rapid and somebody else. But Sweet Crown leads them away. Bompier gets a 2-second time penalty, and Bosch Evans gets a 2-second time penalty. So he's still continuing on his rampage. But Sweet Crown then still leads the race 1 second ahead of Rapid in P2. Jay Hartnell follows with Nathan in P4 with a poor qualifying. But we're all going to go onto the soft compound tyres at the end of this lap. Some people failed to do that in Bahrain, which ultimately led to their disqualification. But some people failed to elect the wet tyres or soft compound tyres on the MFD board, which cost them ultimately. So you've got to put at the end of the first lap, and here we are then, one by one in the pit lane we go. Is anybody going to hit the wall? And as you can see there, all the drivers make their way inside the pit lane. Liam Cross squirming away as they all manage to escape from the wall. As here comes Bosch Evans trying to take out AJ, as Steve gets a 3-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So everybody in the pit lane right now to go on the soft compound tyres. Everybody's obeyed. There comes the Pink Panther car, a 59.2. That's like the MotoGP times, really, isn't it? I know MotoGP are close to the 2 minutes around here in Qatar. It's a high-speed circuit. Obviously, F1 cars have more aerodynamics, and MotoGP bikes are faster, way faster on the straight. If you've seen the speed of a MotoGP bike, it's very scary. Much faster than an F1 car on a straight. Although they were quite equal back in 2016 when the F1 cars were quite slippy in the straight. So yeah, here we are then as I get the gap up. Where is the gap? There it is. Don't know why I turned it off for. But anyways, off we go racing once again. See him immediately overtakes and he's up into P5. And here comes the next driver, Legende, who goes up into P6 now. Into turn 5 he goes. Nice neat move there from Legende as he tries to stick it on the outside and he gets forced off the track but still has track position and he stays in P6. And let's see if Nathan now can make a move on Jay Hartnell as he tries to put pressure on him, as there's a spinner in the background. Not quite sure who that was, as all the drivers will move up one place. Nathan there is all over the back of him, and Bosch Evans then will get disqualified because the man can't follow rules and he'll be disqualified from this race. Bompier is overtaking Liam Cross as we make our way now through this twisty section of the racetrack. Hobbs is there, unfortunately still down in last place, but the battle for P3 then between Nathan and Jay Hartnell. Can Jay Hartnell defend? I think Sweet Crown has got this in the bag, but Nathan goes up the inside and forces Jay Hartnell to go out wide. Wasn't enough room there for the two of them, and evidently as Bosch Evans there will be the quickest driver on the circuit, as the rest of them will slither aside the way. Legende and Sieve, did they make contact or did Sieve lose it by himself? You know what, with Bosch Evans on the wet compound tyres, he might sabotage some people, have a bit of fun. So let's see who we wipes out. As you know, he's not taking this seriously. Here comes Bosch Evans then. Will he take out Pompier? As you can see, the straight line speed is... oh, look at that. You can see him try to ruin his race, and he does. So Pompier there is on the gravel, but their straight line speed was quite equal on the straight until Bosch Evans there just managed to get him. So now he's up into P6. Let's see if anybody ahead of him will be under threat, as Nathan picks up a 3-second time penalty, so that's going to be detrimental. Although Jay Hartnell is outside of 3 seconds behind Nathan. Can Nathan catch Rapid? We'll see. What happened to Liam Cross there? Lagging all over the place is Liam, unless of course that's his real race pace. And here comes AJ, who gets past him. Am I tripping here? I don't even know what's going on. Who's that? That's AJ. Yeah, AJ did pass him. I'm not quite sure what confused me there. I don't think Nathan now is catching Rapid, so I think Rapid is secured. Just as long as he don't make any mistakes or pick himself a penalty. But I don't think some people are safe, you know, because I think Bosch Evans might try and take people out. He's got a huge pace advantage on those wet compound tyres. He's much quicker than the rest of the guys ahead of him. So I wonder, I'm intrigued to see what Bosch Evans does. Who will he sacrifice in this race? Who will be the sacrificial lamb in this race? He's gaining rapidly on Jay Hartnell ahead of him. He's actually right behind him right now, so let's see if he tries to take him out. Can he catch Sweet Crown towards the end of the race, Bosch Evans? He's the type of guy to be in the right times at the right time and still not catch people, and he's spun Jay Hartnell, so Jay Hartnell then has been fallen victim towards Bosch Evans. Not as severe as Bompier, well, his is as severe as Bompier there, as he says the fast lap once again. So he's doing 40s. What's the rest of the guys doing? View lap time, they're doing a 46, so Sweet Crown 6 seconds a lap slower as Liam Cross has left the session, so it must have been lag in the end. But Bosch Evans pushes on then. Next target is Nathan. Will he try and spin him out? I bet Rapid and Sweet Crown are sweating, knowing that Bosch Evans could potentially ruin their race. He's got 2 laps left before he catches up. It'd be quite funny if Bosch Evans, who's on the right tyres, can't catch up to guys who are on worse tyres. Quite ironic indeed if Bosch Evans there can't catch up on the wet tyres on a wet track, and the rest of the guys are skating around on the dry tyres. But he's catching Nathan rapidly. Bompier's overtaking Jay Hartnell. There's a multi-car battle going on there for P6 with Sieve involved. think Sieb spun earlier, didn't he, down at turn 13? And Bosch Evans has overtaken Nathan then, so he got past him in a hurry, in a flash, because I didn't even see it happening. A Sieb there who braves it out with Jay Hart now, gets past him in the process as he tries to fight back under braking. So Nathan there got away with it, quite unscathed actually. So Nathan should be grateful that he wasn't spun in a full 360 off the track. As there's another spinner somewhere on the circuit. But now Bosch Evans is 3.2. I think Sweet Crown is safe, but if Bosch Evans continues to go off the track and abuse track limits, I don't think Sweet Crown could be safe, you know. But I think Rapid is definitely under threat, as Bosch Evans there is in the 37s right now. Will he cut corners around here to try and get even closer towards the top 2 in this race? He's literally on a sabotage mission. I'm glad I'm not in this race, because I definitely know who'll be coming for me. He's left the session, so he won't be putting pressure on anybody. I think Rapid is safe. Rapid will be delighted about that one. And Nathan will reclaim his P3 back, as Legende is 10 seconds further back. So I was looking forward to this, you know, with Bosch Evans on a charge. Would he have taken out Rapid or Sweet Crown if he got close? But that's a question then. Unfortunately, will go unanswered in this, as Sieb and Bompier, 2 good friends of course in ILT, about to go hammer and tong. The 2 Dutchmans fighting it out like they were back in Zandvoort. Sieb, a 2-time winner in CRL. Bompier, who's been in Cone for a long time, still hasn't picked up a win here in the Division 1, as Sieb there outbreaks himself at turn 6 and goes completely wide indeed, or maybe trying to pick up a better line out there to get better traction and more exit speed out the corner. But Bompier, a multiple podium sitter in CRL, but still yet to win his first race, which is quite surprising. Who's that going slowly? Anyways, here comes Sweet Clown coming towards 13 now as he negotiates his way around, as Bosch Evans' AI is catching Rapid, but obviously he's a ghost, so we can't do anything about it. Is he a ghost? Yeah, he is a ghost. And here is Sweet Clown making his way now towards the line as he wins the Qatar Grand Prix, does the Pink Panther. Here comes Rapid now in the Audi we get here, and Bosch Evans for Nicky Quietus. Here comes Nathan for Chevrolet Veterans. Legende also representing the Pink Panthers will finish in P5. Nathan will take P3 away, and here comes Legende then coming towards the line now to finish in P5. Here comes Bompier for P6 representing Sovereign Racing. Sieb in the Nicky Quietus in 7th place ahead of Jay Hart now representing Sovereign. Snail Pace Syndicate, as I try to remember their names. And here comes Indian Jesus now crossing the line to finish in P9. Here comes AJ in 10th, and Hobbs here, who will finish in 11th place. Leon Cross, unfortunately for him, will finish in last place. So that's the race done for Qatar. Then we move on to Brazil, I think, for the wet weather. How does it feel, Josh, to get disconnected and not take out the leaders? It's a shame we've only got 12-13 racing here, because looking forward for a full lobby for the last race of the season before we switch on to the 24 game. That if depends, we go on to 24, judging by the way it's going. I'm not looking for. There are the results then. So Rapid was only a 10th off Sweet Clown's fastest lap. Not bad at all, but Nathan did beat it. Both of them indeed. In P3, had it not been out of position in qualifying, although he started in P8, went on to finish in P3. But there's the race ended for Qatar. We move on to Brazil to round off the Cone Cup. I'll take a short break before we get into it for the final race of the season. Look who's joined back, the ACC sweat of Bosch Evans. questions to ask, let me know in the comment section. And I'm pretty sure I regret to say that statement there. But anyways, we'll see how interesting it's going to be. Mostly F1 related questions, not condoms or anything, as Bosch Evans loves to know about. So it's time for me to get a new mic, obviously, because it's difficult holding a mic in one hand and a controller in another. So we head on to Brazil then for the final race here in Cone Cup. And let's see who is leading in the championship. So I get the championship standings up right now. Here it is then, the Cone Cup Championship. Sovereign Racing leads Pink Panthers. So Sovereign Racing did overtake Pink Panthers last round. Chevrolet Coveterans in P3 ahead of the Window Lickers. Nicky Quietus in P5 ahead of KKK Rosberg. Gunter's Hassel 7th ahead of Snail Speed Syndicate. Do It in the Haas in 9th place ahead of How Do We Get Here. So it's a battle between Pink Panthers and the Sovereign Racing team, which is going to be phenomenal to watch because I think we've got both teams here tonight. Let's check to see who's in the Sovereign Racing. Bompier and AJ versus Speed Crown and Legende. So I think Pink Panthers have won that battle, judging by the results. AJ has joined the session. I think we all know the Monaco Grand Prix is not going to be a good race on Sunday. I think qualifying is going to be more important, well obviously, but I think qualifying is going to be the main highlight this weekend because it's going to be a single file race all the way from lap 1 to lap 78. I don't know why I keep the Monaco Grand Prix because it hasn't really provided any interesting racing since a long time ago, and the cars are too wide to overtake in any particular part of the section. Even on fresher tyres it's still hard to get past anybody. Merck or McLaren to take pole and win the race? What do you mean in Monaco or the season overall? Do you think Merck has still got it? I don't think Merck will get anywhere near to the top this season. They've not got a podium this season yet, have they? Russell or Hamilton. So if Hamilton doesn't get a podium this season, I think he will. You think Merck is going to be close to in Monaco? What makes you think Merck is going to be close, by the way? I think McLaren will be close with Red Bull and Ferrari. Merck, questionable. But I'd like to hear your theory about that one. What was I going to say before I said that? Oh yeah, Lewis Hamilton. If he doesn't get a podium this season, wouldn't that be the first ever time since 2007 that he hasn't had a podium in a race, in a season? He's won every race he's participated in. Oh, that doesn't make sense. Let me rephrase that. Ever since he joined F1, he won every single race in a season, and since that 2022 ended his streak, yeah, it would be correct. If he doesn't have a podium this season, that'd be the first time ever he hasn't had a podium in a season. That's quite an interesting fact. But he's moving to a better team anyway. But Panda, let me know what you think about Mercedes, because like, I don't know, what makes you think they are contention for pole or win in the race? I think McLaren have a better chance than Mercedes, 100%. I'd have to disagree with you, Panda. I've not really seen... I don't know. When was the last time I had a good race in Monaco? 2019? when Hamilton won the race for Niki Lauda, as he passed away unfortunately. RIP Niki Lauda. But yeah, the last time Mercedes did well around Monaco was 19. I haven't had a podium. Do you know what? I actually can't remember the 2023 Monaco Grand Prix. I've absolutely had no idea what happened in 2023 Monaco. I've actually forgotten 2023. You know, I'm really good at remembering races from the past, like years and years ago. We're talking, but I can't remember what happened last year, which is quite interesting because that's how much I paid attention. Who won in 2018? It was Daniel Ricciardo who won in 2018. I don't know. Mercedes haven't really particularly been that strong in Monaco, I've got to admit, as we watched one shot qualifying. I remember Rosberg taking a streak of poles from 2013 to 2015. Then Ricciardo took pole in 16 and went on to not win the race because of his pit crew, forgetting that he was on. Well, he had to pit, and Hamilton went on to win that race. Then 17 it was Vettel, 18 it was Ricciardo, 19 Hamilton, 2021 Verstappen. Yeah, it was Verstappen. 2022 Perez. Yeah, 2022 Perez. 2023 Verstappen. Ham fourth with fastest lap and fifth Russell 2023 Monaco GP. I don't have any context to what happened there, so I'm not quite sure if I can elaborate on that. But yeah, Mercedes though, like 2021, when Pierre Gasly out-qualified Hamilton, didn't he? And he got stuck behind the AlphaTauri and the Aston Martin for a long time. I think Vettel undercutted Gasly. Hamilton stayed in seventh place of the whole race. Yeah, but the last time Mercedes were really strong in Monaco was 2019 when Hamilton went on to win. It's more like a Red Bull track to me. Red Bull have always gone quite well around there. Ferrari have done decent. Charles Leclerc even took pole in 2022, but obviously couldn't start the race because he had a gearbox problem. Was it 2020? Do you know what? I'm actually confused now. I don't even know what year it was anymore. 2022 or 2023? So that's the end of one-shot qualifying. Then they didn't even get to see any of that, so I don't even know who's on pole. But I do think it'll be the race weekend where K-Mag receives his race ban. Do you know what? The last time someone got a race ban in F1 was Romain Grosjean when he took out a lot of people back in Belgium. Then it was Jerome D'Ambrosio who replaced him, I think, for Monza that weekend, where he basically did nothing. But yeah, Romain Grosjean, I think the last time someone got a race ban in Formula 1. Grosjean though, 2012 wasn't a good year really, because he had a lot of incidents back in that year. I remember him being a nuisance in 2012, sorry. Obviously Jerome D'Ambrosio, I think, is he parting ways with Mercedes? I rarely keep up with the news these days, but I've heard something about Jerome D'Ambrosio. I didn't even know he was actually with Mercedes until it was announced. Jerome D'Ambrosio, the best thing he was known for, Formula 1, was spinning in the pit lane, entering his Virgin pit box, or Marussia pit box, depending what it was at the time. I think 2010 was Virgin, then 2011 it was a Marussia. Then 2016 it was Manor, then after that, gone. So it will transfer into a wet race here in Brazil. So we had a one-shot qualifying where it was wet, and now it's dry, but I think it will converge back into the wet stint. So the race is about to get going then. Wet to dry to wet weather, it said, but we're here in the dry conditions. And the lights are away then, so Nathan will take them towards turn 1, and let's see what happens. Nathan covers the inside line with Sweetcon and Liam Cross going wheel to wheel. Look at that contact there with Indian Jesus going into turn 1 as he hit the back of Liam Cross, but got away with it. Further down we've got a spinner. That's Rapper who's gone for a spin down at turn 1 at the centre S's there. And they all look settled for the time being. Only 13 drivers here in the lobby, as no moves being made down there unless Bompier goes for an overtake on Bosch Evans. That's around the outside, as in the distance you can see a few cars off the track as Hobbsy is into a level place then. In fact, here it comes. He couldn't make the overtake stick, but Liam Cross there is all over the back of Sweetcar. Let's see what tyres people have opted to go on to for. Let me take the microphone out of my hand so I can have two hands to commentate for this. There we go, much better now. And who's that going around the outside? That is... who was it? That's Bompier, isn't it? Yeah, Bompier tries to go around the outside but couldn't quite make it stick. And now, here comes Jay Hartnell on him. Bosch Evans is further demoted down, I think. It's so confusing with these liveries. I don't even know who's who despite having the track map up. And Jay Hartnell's been demoted down into P11. As Nathan sets the fast lap of the Grand Prix, he continues to lead. The top three pull away, have their own gap over Indy Jesus. Here comes Steve on AJ. Let's go wheel to wheel. I think they're both in the same team, so they won't be scuffing too much because the championship fight is important between his team and the Pink Panthers. But they're both going to go wheel to wheel on the Retroposter straight, as Bompier now has overtaken AJ. Further in the foreground, Legende is ahead of Indian Jesus, so he puts his Pink Panther into P4. Can he make it a double podium for Pink Panther to round off the Cone Cup, as Harry Palmer has retired from the session, and that's a 5-second penalty for Hobbsy, as there's been a virtual safety car which has been deployed. I'm not quite sure if they meant to deploy a VSC on the game stipulation, but it has neutralised things for the time being then, so we're just going to wait until the VSC has disappeared and hopefully we can get racing once again. Ooh. So Sweetground then leads them away. In fact, Nathan leads them away. Nathan won the race back in season 10, I think he did. See end plate missing. Let's have a look to see if that's true or not. How did you spot that, King Panda? I can barely spot anything these days, even though I've got my glasses on. So let's have a look to see what Steve... Yeah, he has got an end plate missing. So the Nicky Quieter is going to head off into the pit lane. Went to bomb. Ooh, who's that in the pit lane? It's really got me confused with all these liveries. I think Indy Jesus might sustain a bit of damage. Why is he on the Inters for? It's a bit too early for Indy Jesus. He does realise he doesn't have to go on the Inters now. He can go on them later because it goes from a dry to a wet race. There's not a stipulation where you got to go on the Inters at the end or in the middle of a stint. And Bosch Evans and AJ swapping places there under the VSC. So what's going on with me recently? Why am I not doing my job properly? There we go. It's taken me a long time to get settled down. So Nathan then leads this race ahead of Sweetground with Liam Cross in P3. Bosch Evans gets a 5-second penalty for collision, there we go, with AJ Wuhan. As Steve Rapid and Hobbsy go on the soft compound tyres. So at least we got one of the window lickers out, although he's not in that team, but still is a window licker. So it's a safety car now, a full-blown safety car has been deployed, and there's the safety car. They've caught up the pack then, so it's actually worked out for Steve Rapid and Hobbsy, because in the middle stint they can catch up and they have the benefit of the soft compound tyres. What is Evans doing? Hitting people under safety car. It is Bosch Evans things really. He doesn't really care because we saw in Qatar that he didn't follow the rules. He had to pit at the end of the first lap. As Nathan there dummied people, or dummied me, because I actually thought he was going to go into the pit lane. But one person that does go in the pit lane is Bosch Evans then. So let's see if this is a scheduled stop to go on to a brand new set of softs or a front wing change. It's a front wing change to explain why he's gone to the pit lane. He's got to serve his 5-second penalty as well, as the Nicky Quieters there silently get to work on the car, get rid of his wing and put on a brand new nose cone with AVAX as the sponsor. The sponsors just disappeared on the front wing, which is quite interesting. So the sponsors already leaving the team after their bad performances. So the safety car will stay out for at least 2 laps before we can get back into racing action. But why on earth has Indian Jesus gone on the intermediates? That's the biggest question of them all. What is he, a Toro Rosso from 2018? When they fitted the wet compound tyres onto a dry track. I believe that was Hockenheim 2018. And also Kimi Räikkönen back in 2009 pitted onto a set of wets on a dry track. And so, as soon as the rain came, ironically destroyed their wet tyres because they were already burnt out and used up on the dry surface. So yeah, I'm not quite sure why NDG has done that. He might as well pit now. Get rid of those inters while he has the chance, otherwise he's screwed for the rest of the race. Oh no, he doesn't, he can't. The safety car is at the end of this lap, is coming in. So he screwed himself big time there, as the rest of the guys slowed down with a few people in the background swapping places there. As Nathan then will decide when to go as he becomes the effective safety car. And let's see when Nathan decides to call the race to go back on. For MotoGP fans, Alicia Spargaro has finally retired from MotoGP. I know a lot of you are not really MotoGP fans. There's Bosch Evans there. Look at that. Look at this midfield crawling to a halt as Nathan then has finally gone, as left a few people exposed and vulnerable to guys behind who are really close now. As we head towards turn 1, we've got AJ versus Bompia going down into turn 1 here. As you can see, Legende now defending from Bompia. Sorry, that's a big gap between Bompia and AJ there. And looks like Liam Cross might fancy a move on Sweet Crown. He might go for it, you know, going down into turn 4. But Sweet Crown defends the inside line and stays in P2. And Bompia is trying to make an impression on Legende. Now he's side by side with him, going up towards Ferradura. Legende has the inside line, but Bompia, can he stick him on the outside? No, he can't. He almost spins out the corner too, and has to stay behind him for the time being, as Rapid and Steve exchange places on those soft compound tyres. So I expect the soft runners to come at the medium runners in a flash, but unfortunately for them, they drop down the field because there's a gap of 1 seconds already from P5 to P6. AJ got caught napping on the safety car there, unless something happened to him, of course, with Bosch Evans trying to spice things up in the midfield. But here we go again, on to lap 6 out of 25. The rain period will hit in a few laps' time. We know how fast the rain can come on these F1 games, and Legende now putting pressure on Liam Cross ahead of us. He doesn't make the move going down into turn 1, as you can see Liam Cross almost at the back of Sweet Crown. Luckily he doesn't and stays in P3. DRS should be enabled on the next lap to influence overtaking around this circuit. A great track for overtaking a race, of course. We've seen plenty of times where the Brazilian Grand Prix has showed us fantastic races in its past history before. And championships have been won and lost around here. I don't even need to reiterate which championships have been lost around here before. We all know the famous one back in 2008, of course. As we make our way now through the slow speed section into sector 2 we go. There's still plenty of opportunity to overtake in this section. Down here it's turn 10, where Hamilton failed to overtake Alex Albon and crashed into him, which spun him out. Albon could have got his first podium of that season too, especially when he joined the Red Bull team, replacing Pierre Gasly, as he got demoted down to Toro Rosso. Now it's called Recorb RB. Toro Rosso's had a lot of names in its past as well. It used to be Minardi back in those days. As we make our way now onto lap 7 of the Grand Prix. Here comes Sweet Crown making a move on Nathan JB. Do you know what? Did Nathan have his DRS open there? I thought the DRS was open on Nathan, even though he's not in DRS range of anybody because he's first. That was quite strange. But anyways, here he comes then down the Retroposta straight with Sweet Crown blasting past with the DRS, but Nathan is going to tough it out with Walter, and he stays in P1 with great defending. Nathan has raced around here before. It was 2 weeks ago where he took the victory because I helped him. I helped him win in a league race, so he knows what it feels like to race around here in Brazil. He's always historically gone well around here in Brazil because he won the last race of the season in season 10. That ended up being an absolute mess, that last race of the season, with G. Russell there deciding to straight line people. But here we are then coming towards, I think, Magulio, headed into the famous John Sark corner, the proper final corner in the race. As we exit the final corner, the DRS detection point is right there with the DRS wide open. Liam Cross is right to the back of Sweet Crown. He's stuck in the DRS train, but can he make a move? Going down into turn 1, as Sweet Crown now putting pressure on Nathan. He goes around the outside. The rain period has hit. Sweet Crown goes around the outside into 1, has the inside line, and he takes the lead of the Grand Prix. But Nathan there will be responding back as he has the DRS himself. But when he decides to go for it, going down into 4, we can see Sweet Crown defending, moves back to his racing line and defends P1 ahead of Nathan there. But the rain period has hit. The rain won't immediately affect the surface too much. Sorry there, I was yawning at the same time. The rain won't immediately impact the circuit enough to put on the inters in one lap. It takes a lot of time for the rain to settle down on the track. It will be greasy, so the loss of grip, it will be there. but gradually the track will get worse and therefore the inters will be required. So will Nathan there try and get past speed ground before the DRS is deactivated too, as we make our way now towards Judge Side. Looks like a lot of people got closer. Those soft runners haven't really gained much, it must be said, despite having that advantage early doors on those soft compound tyres. As we make our way now on the straight, is Sweet Crown already pitting? They are pitting. I thought it was a bit too early to pit, but here we are. Both drivers pick up a penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so does Legende. So a lot of drivers there picking up penalties, but the rain hit so quickly there, it went from dry to wet in about a few seconds. So a few of them picked up a Hobbs is retired, unfortunately. A few of them picked up a 5-second penalty, and I'm pretty sure that's the career of doing it in the Haas has gone. So 3 people have picked up 5-second penalties. Liam Cross hasn't, so Liam Cross has a big chance of winning. Who's that coming through the shot there? That's Indian Jesus. I forgot all about him, you know. Fell back to the field on those 6-lap-old inters. And you know what? Despite being 6 laps old, his tyres must be overheating and wearing off dramatically now. There's no grip on that car whatsoever. Look at him struggling through these corners as Steve goes through very easily up the inside too. Indian Jesus there has really shot himself in the foot with this one. There's absolutely nothing he can do to recover this unless the safety car comes out to savour his race. But as long as Liam Cross can keep him within 5 seconds of Nathan and Sweet Crown, they should win the race. They came into the pit lane at high speed, did those two. Oh yeah, Rapid is on the medium compound tyres. Why is he gone on the mediums? Did he forget to change over to the inters? You know what, I'm really good at spotting things. Recently I've been absolutely terrible at spotting things. As those two go through, of Bosch Evans and Jay Hartnell. So into the pit lane comes Rapid then to get rid of his penalty. Liam Cross, what have you done? He's got a 3-second penalty, has Liam Cross. So the deficit now is 2 seconds, which is still in striking range of. But as you can see, he's getting dropped out of their slipstream. So will Nathan and Sweet Crown be able to pull away? The problem is though, Sweet Crown and Nathan can't really bust it out too hard because it will allow Legende and Liam Cross to come closer. What could Bompia do in P52 in the Snail Syndicate car? As Rapid's retired from this race then, so we're down to 10. And it's a safety car, so who has crashed out at turn 1? It looks like it was Rapid. Jay Hartnell's retired too. So Jay Hartnell, look, there he is at the top of the hill, he's crashed. Not quite sure, how on earth did he do that? So only 9 drivers remain in this race with another safety car coming out. I can't wait to get off this game. Although 2024 will not be any better, judging by the recent comments that are being made. Yeah, Bompia is the sovereign car, apologies about that, I'm not really good at these names. The Sweet Crown is in the pit lane. You know what, I think this is tactical, you know, to get rid of that penalty. Or they might be going to wet compound tyres because it is going to get wetter. Jenkins says Stevens might be able to take it. Stevens? Bompia might be able to take this. They're on another set of inters, those guys are, but they're going to get rid of their penalty. But Liam Cross is on the wet compound tyres, Bompia's on the wet. So as Nathan made the wrong call, he stayed on the inters. It's supposed to get wetter as they do a double stack there for his own teammate of Indian Jesus. And Bosch Evans has taken the lead of the Grand Prix, which is going to get very chaotic indeed. I can't wait to see that. As the safety car, Liam Cross has retired. What's he done? He's crashed at the pit lane exit. All these drivers are dropping out like stones here. Flies, sorry. And Liam Cross is another driver to go. 2 drivers crashed under a safety car. Unbelievable. So interestingly, there's 2 drivers on the wet compound tyres. It's supposed to get wetter too throughout the session, then back to dries. But the rain has to really impact the circuit now for Bompier and Siege strategies to work. Have those two made the right call? Nobody in this race has got a penalty now. Thanks to the safety car, Nathan and Sweet Crown have got rid of their 5-second tire penalty, which is very crucial now, as they're on the level playing field as everybody else. As my TV is about to turn off. Both sovereign cars could be in for a 1-2, says Jenkins. Where is my remote? There it is, right in front of me as always. Somebody else is in the pit lane. That's Nathan then. So Nathan thinks this has got to be for the wet tyres, surely, as Indian Jesus follows him in, so it could be a double stack for both of them. But is it the wet compound tyres now? Yes, it is. As the two drivers are double stack in the pit lane. I think they're both in different teams, aren't they? Indian Jesus is not in the same team as Nathan, I don't think. Let's have a look to see if he's in the same team or not. No, he's not. So Indian Jesus has been selected for Nathan's teammate in the game, but here Indian Jesus is a window licker and Nathan is a Chevrolet veteran. So they're both in different teams, but they are teammates, so that's going to be very crucial if there are any more pit stops happening later in the race. Indian Jesus has got to get ahead of Nathan, or Nathan has to stay ahead of him for the next round of pit stops if there are any. I must be frustrated there for... Jenkins says, I raced the full race on Inters and they were fine. So yeah, let's see if these guys have made the right call. I think if the Inters are the best place, I think Sweet Crown has the upper hand because he's on the fresh set of the Inters. As the safety car is in at the end of this lap, be prepared for a probably chaotic restart, as Bosch Evans will have his chance of leading the only time in a Grand Prix. Let's see if he can make the most of it. Can he even lead a lap? That's the question. As he'll decide when to go then as he gets the temperature in the tyres. The safety car is in the pit lane. When will Bosch Evans decide to go? Can he stay in the lead for at least one lap? That is the question. Off he goes then, and let's see who's got cut-light reactions on this restart. Sweet Crown immediately putting AJ under pressure. They're the championship protagonists as we go down into turn 1. Here comes Sweet Crown going around the outside. In fact, I think AJ turned that to an overtaking move. AJ's ahead of Bompier. So AJ turned that from defensive move to overtaking move and overtaking his own teammate. And here we are then on to the Electroposter straight. Here comes Sweet Crown up the inside of Bompier, puts himself into P3, so the Inters are clearly better, as you can see. Wet to weather tyres, of course, but a light standard conditions, not as treacherous, but although Nathan has got ahead of Sieb. So I think these guys then on the wet compound tyres probably made the wrong call. Legende in the Pink Panther could find himself on the podium. It could be a double Pink Panther. But what were you saying about Josh? Yeah, you are correct. Josh is low on fuel. As you can see, that the yellow warning light on lap 13 out of 25, so he's clearly underfueled the car. Despite having two safety cars, he hasn't been able to save the fuel. And here comes a Sweet car then. So congratulations, Josh. You led a F1 race for the first time since God knows when. But here comes Sweet car then all over the back of AJ Wuhan as he puts the I think it is the Sovereign car under pressure. No, it's not the Sovereign car. What is it? I can't actually remember, to be honest. It is a Sovereign car. So here comes Sweet car on Bompier AJ, who puts himself into P2. And now let's see if AJ can stay at the podium. Both Sovereigns are in P3 and in P4. With Legende right behind Bompier too on those Inters. Here it comes, using the battery, and he overtakes Bompier, goes up to P4. The Danishman is ahead of the Norwegian driver. Sorry, not the Norwegian driver. I'm used to commentating with a lot of Norwegians in a league together. I call it the Scandinavian Army. But anyways, Legende from Denmark is in P4 ahead of the Dutchman of Bompier. Turns out Bompier can sing as well, surprisingly. Quite a good singer is Bompier. But here we are then, Sweet Crown is putting pressure on Bosch Evans ahead of him. Bosch Evans is still leading this Grand Prix, so make it 2 laps now for Bosch Evans, but how hard of a defence is he going to put up against Walter? Walter, the dark horse here in CRL and anywhere else you go, despite starting last in some of the races, he always finds a way to get himself back up there. He never fails to surprise me, does Speed Crown, but here we are then, low on the battery of course, trying to get in close contention of Bosch Evans. And who's that? That's Legende fighting with AJ, and he puts himself into P3, but AJ fights back on the exit as he tries to go around the outside. Now has the inside line, goes off the track too for good measure, and Legende now is in P3. Great move indeed from the Danishman, and here comes Streetcar, and then all over the back of Bosch Evans. This could be a 1-2 for the Pink Panthers. For the final race of the season, they'll wrap up the championship and win it in style with a 1-2 for Pink Panther. Great job indeed. They've done a good job all season, I think. Legende and Sweet Crown always have been up there. And India Jesus picked up a 3-second time penalty as he's retired from the race, and please don't be a safety car, I beg. Thank God for that. It's not a safety car. I can't be bothered with safety cars now. Although I did have a league race around in Brazil yesterday, and there were 3 safety cars, and I was absolutely peed off to the max. And it was a dry race too. And here we are then with Sweet Crown putting big pressure on Bosch Evans ahead of him. By the way, Bosch Evans does a great Sweet Crown impression, by the way. He's really good at mimicking Sweet Crown's voice. Sweet Crown does have a cold when he talks. Quite funny though. But here we go then. Sweet Crown makes a move. Bosch Evans will try and fight hard, but he doesn't have anything to respond with. And Sweet Crown is in P1. Leads the race to the Grand Prix. As Bosch Evans then will settle down into P2. 9 laps left to go in the Grand Prix. Bosch Evans has driven quite well, you know, in this race, despite ignoring the second stipulation race. As we head on to the Retro Poster Straight, Nathan there in striking distance of Bompier. The guys who went to the wet tyres made the wrong call, as you can see. 5th, 6th and 7th for those guys. And let's see what happens going down into turn 4. Nathan there tapping the back of the Sovereign car. The Chevrolet trying to get past the Sovereign, and Nicky Quieter is in the background too. 3 different teams go at it, Hammer and Tongas. Nathan there decides to go off the track. Not quite sure why he's done that, but now he's allowed Steve to go up into P6. And Bosch Evans though is still in between 1 second of Sweet Crown. He saved up a lot of EOS too as Bosch Evans. The last time we saw it was 27%, but it's quite easy to save EOS in the wet conditions because you're not on the throttle 100% like you would be in the dry, so therefore it's easier to save battery. But as you can see now, Steve is putting Bompier under all sorts of pressure. They're all on the wet compound tyres, and Bompier gets a really bad exit out of John Sau, which is allowing Steve to come at him, who goes around the outside. And here comes Nathan JB2. AJ picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And here comes Bompier. Goes up the inside into turn 1. He slides, he drifts through turn 1, but managed to keep it stick. And Steve stays in P4. Look at that. It's a drift fest around here in Brazil. As these 3 then quite separated now. But Nathan is on the back of Bompier going down into turn 4, but not able to make a move and put it off there. I'm just sat back and laid back now because there's not much going on in this race anymore. So let me get my microphone out as it is in the stand, but I don't think you can reach this distance because I'm literally laid back on the sofa or the chair. Sorry. Nathan is up into P5 as they continue their scrap going in the middle sector. These 2 had a great battle back in the Zandvoort Grand Prix, and as you can see ahead of us, Legende is putting pressure on Bosch Evans then. So Bosch Evans has been dropped out of the DRS Sweet Crown, and now Legende is coming at him at a rate of knots too on those fresher into tyres. And it should be a Pink Panther 1-2 towards the end of this race. I don't see nobody. Bosch Evans will get a podium too because 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th are on the wet compound tyres, but Bosch Evans is in the pit lane then. And look at that, the track is getting worse, you know, so I think it could be time for the wet tyres now. Maybe he is getting that bit more Tetris out there. Harry Palmer's left the session even though he was still here. But you can see Steve sliding to the corners. Bosch Evans rejoins in P6. He also got his nose changed as well. So there's the safety car waiting, but there's only 7 drivers in the session then, so we won't see that Mercedes safety car appear on the circuit, hopefully, for one more time. But now the top two are left on the intermediates. The wets could go towards the end, but is it time now for the wet tyres to be introduced into the race between the top two? The two Pink Panthers have done a credible job throughout the whole season in Cone Cup. They're about to win the championship as well, but it's not over and done yet. These two might have to make another pit stop towards the latter stages of this Grand Prix, but will they risk it? Because if they pit, they'll lose a lot of time, as Bosch Evans there has left the session then, so he is out of the race. It's down to the top six now to decide who is going to win, but Sweet Car decides to set off for one more lap. Is that the right call? Let's have a look at the gap to leader to have an indication to see if anybody's gaining on those wet compound tyres. I don't think really nobody's really gaining. They are on the old wets of course, so I think the top two are safe, albeit though it's getting worse on the circuit. Quite evenly spread out around here. There's nothing going on whatsoever around here in Brazil. The closest battle is this one between Nathan and C. Bompier has dropped back quite dramatically from these two. So round two again between Seb and Nathan, as Nathan went off the track in Ferradura, allowing Seb to open the door and come through. And it was just enough for him to fit as well, so it must have been a big gap for him to fit. But here are the two, Nathan JB and Seb then, hammer and tong. This is the battle for the podium between Nicky Quieter and Chevrolet co-veterans. Legende is doing a great job in P2 so far, but the track is deteriorating even more. The rain will keep on impacting the circuit, but I don't think the top two will even bother to pit. Is there any point pitting now? Might as well go to the end. I don't think none of these guys are catching really. So it's just a battle for P3 between Nathan and Seb then. Great battle in the Dutch GP, but here we go on the straight then. Nathan has the ERS to use and the slipstream, but he's not quite close enough to make a move going down into turn one, although Seb does go out wide, and let's see if that's a mistake from Seb. Advantages Nathan going on to the rest of the Potter straight. Here is Nathan then in the DRS zone of Seb. Seb goes defensive on the inside. Nathan, where would he go? Inside or outside? Goes on the inside into turn 4. And they both break late, but Nathan, does he have the grip to go through? Yes, he does. And Nathan then goes up into P3 ahead of Seb. Nathan is a monster in the wet conditions. Although he doesn't make a few mistakes, he pushes very hard. At the same time, he's a force to be reckoned with when it comes to wet racing. So we've got 5 laps left to go before we end the F123 game in Cone Corp. I was actually about to delete the game as well, but I forgot that I had the Cone Corp coming up. I think the battle between the Sovereign cars is about to get interesting. There we go then, the battle for P5. AJ is on fresher tyres of course, so he should be closing in on his own teammate. So I think the battle for P5 now will become the interesting battle. We're only 6 drivers in this Grand Prix, as somebody spun, that's Seb going for a spin, where Vettel spun in 2016. And Seb then has fallen down into P6, allowing the 2 Sovereigns to go through. And Nicky Quieters are in last place, 6th and 7th. It's the Pink Panthers who lead. Polishman will be very happy and pleased to see this. Zombidon too. Shout out to Sweet Crown Legende, Zombidon and Polishman representing the Pink Panthers. All 4 of them have done an incredible job, but AJ and Bompier swap places going down into turn 3, the exit of Curve de Sol, and now AJ is ahead of him, although AJ does have a penalty, but he's got 6 laps, fresher tyres, so he might be able to just pull away and break that gap. I think we should have gap to interval now, because we don't really need to see the gap to leader, as we know these men aren't catching up. So AJ does have a 5-second tablet, so he's got 4 laps to pull a 5-second gap. Is it possible? We'll see then. AJ should have the extra grip and purchase in these corners to try and get better exits out of here in the middle sector. The gap is already 1 second then, so 4 more to go. Sweet Khan representing Pink Panthers ahead of his Pink Panther teammate Nathan, co-veterans racing ahead of the 2 Sovereigns. Seb in P6 with Nicky Quieters, very quiet at the back indeed, and Bosch Evans also representing Nicky Quieters too. Indeed Jesus there representing the Window Lickers. With 3 laps left to go in this Grand Prix, Sweet Crown currently leads by an 8-second gap. That gap has been continuing to extend for a long time. Nathan's 5 seconds away, but can he catch Legende? He actually started to gain on him bit by bit, but I don't think it'll be enough towards the end of the Grand Prix for him to catch him and overtake him too. Although he started to take a little bit of time now and then out of him, he is actually started to gain on him quite a lot too. So Legende might not be done yet. The gap's going down quite dramatically. It went from 4.9 to 4.3 now. 4.2. Nathan's absolutely rapid now. He's actually started to catch Legende with 3 laps left to go in this Grand Prix. So the battle for P3, battle for P2 might not be over yet. Nathan is gaining. He might want to split the both Pink Panthers up. The gap is 3.8. And there's a spinner. That's Bompier who's gone for a spin. But I think he's done it in favours to Sieb there to allow him to have a battle. Bompier and Sieb never leave each other alone. They're good friends, of course. But the gap is now 3.8 between the two. The wet tyres are starting to work for Nathan now. And let's see if we can try and take P2 towards the end of this Grand Prix. It might be a dominant drive so far for the Pink Panthers, but one of them has got to work for it to make it a 1-2 to round off the championship as champions. As you can see, the Pink Panther in the foreground of your screen right there, with Nathan started to hunt him down slowly but surely as we make our way now towards the Curve of the Sol onto the Retoposta Straight. Nathan started to use a bit more battery as well. He's gained a full second since the last lap of the Grand Prix. And Legende there will have his work cut out. I think the wet tyres are better than the intermediates now. He started to gain at rate of knots is Nathan JB with 3 laps left to go in this Grand Prix. Look at that, the track is a Tetris out there. So I think the intermediates cannot withstand the amount of water on the circuit, because the intermediates are used for light standing conditions. These are heavy conditions now, as the wet compound tyres will be the favourite tyre now during this stage of this Grand Prix. And Nathan's got 2 laps to try and catch Legende and also overtake him. Can he do it? The gap was 4 seconds about a lap ago or two. Now it's 1.8 as the gap continues to go down. He's taking chunks out of Legende's advantage. He's eaten into that advantage is Nathan. The gap is now 1.8 obviously, but we're on the straight so it might even out. But as we head into the corners, that's where Nathan will start to gain the most time out of the lot. So with 2 laps left to go, the gap is 1.9 seconds, and Legende constantly under pressure and having Nathan to look over his shoulders. Although he started to gain a little bit of sweet car is Legende, maybe started to respond from Nathan knowing that he's on the charge. But is it going to be a bit too late for Nathan to try and catch him and overtake him? I think he might catch him, but I don't think he'll overtake him. I think it'll be a bit too late. In the background you can see a sovereign there of AJ all by himself, as Sieb and Bompier are now scrapping away for P5 and P6. Obviously both have spun, hence why they're so far back. But the gap is now 1.3 seconds, so this will come down to the last lap of the Grand Prix. Nathan stored up a bit of battery. Bompier I presume will stored up a bit of battery too in defence mode against Nathan. No DS of course to aid Nathan down the straight, but the gap is now under a second between those two. And this battle will go down to the wire on the final lap of the Grand Prix. Nathan has finally caught Legende, but we'll see then who has the best advantage on the last lap. Will it be Legende? Can he defend against Nathan? Can Nathan, despite catching up, has he taken too much life out of those tyres? He is 5 tenths behind Legende as we head on to the final lap of the Cone Cup season, headed down into turn 1. Legende's got to be careful not to go out too wide, because Nathan there, as you can see, gained a lot of time on him, and here he is at turn 3. All over the back of the Pink Panther. Legende defends. Nathan makes contact with him, and he slides out the corner, losing traction as we go down into turn 4. Nathan going up the inside into 4, and there's absolutely nothing Legende can do about that one, so has to concede defeat against Nathan. But ultimately, being on the inters was probably the best at the right time, proven by Sweet Crown, if you had the pace of course. But Nathan made his late surge back up into P2. There's AJ in the background, but he has a 5-second time penalty, although he's gaining rapidly and 2 ahead of him. So I think that's it then between the rest of these. Oh, Nathan's made a mistake. Will that allow Legende to come back into him? Yes, it will. Out to turn 10. Legende. Can he go around the outside? No, Nathan defends it, but look at him. Stand in the corner. Here comes Legende. Back up the inside. Into Johnson. Here we go. And Legende takes Peter away, but Nathan stood on the outside. Here comes AJ too. They're about to make a 3 abreast there. As we go to the corner, Legende is back down to P4. Sweet Crown wins this race. And Nathan there stays in P2, but here comes his brother. Will he outdrag him towards the line? Let's have a look and find out. No, he can't. Nathan stays in P2 just though, ahead of Legende. AJ's in P4. I thought Legende had him when Nathan was almost losing the back end of the car at the corner. But John Sal, Legende backed out of it. I think he did anyway because he knew that there's no point risking it with a guy who's got a penalty. And Bompier, what a guy, what a character is CRL Bompier, the most likeable guy in the paddock and the whole F1 community, along with Sieb. As we celebrate the donuts then, we've turned off the telemetry to watch the final end of the F1 23 game. Hopefully Bompier can get a win in CRL if F1 24 Sieb just beats him there, literally. And we're waiting for Bosch Evans to cross the line, which he just has done right now. Congrats Sweet Crown, congrats to the Pink Panthers for winning the championship. Zombidon, Polishman, Legende and Sweet Crown, all 4 of them win the Cone Cup. Thank you to Cammy, who boosted it a few weeks ago by calling out the draws. Thank you for Nathan and the rest of the admins for setting this up. And that's the final send-off to the F1 23 game. And hopefully we'll see you back for Season 11 on F1 24, although it doesn't look to be promising on the new game. But I'll see you all later. The next time we'll stream will hopefully be round 1 for Season 11, wherever it is.